Hello, Baby Bean, and everybody on Baby Bean Storytime. My name is Grandma Cookie, and today we are going to tell you a story. But first, I want you to grab your favorite stuffed animal, maybe your favorite blankie. Baby Bean, look at this cute blankie. And one of my customers made this for you. Um, she misunderstood and thought I told her that you were turning 2 and she thought you were a new baby. She's been married for 65 years, her and her husband, and they come in every Sunday. I just absolutely love them. She forgot that you were born, and it's not that she forgot, it's that I think she might have dementia or something. But I thought this would be a cute little baby blankie, maybe for one of your babies, or I can keep it for me and snuggle with my favorite stuffy and have my favorite blankie and read my favorite books. Who knows? But find your favorite reading spot. We're going to read the Beginner's Bible Timeless Children's Stories. We are finishing up the Old Testament this week. And we will be starting the New Testament. So we are halfway through our stories, and maybe we'll just start all over again. And next time I read it, I can bring in my Bible that I got from my grandma and maybe read some of the verses out of that Bible as well. So I haven't decided yet what I'm going to do, but we still have a whole half a book to read before I make that decision, don't we? Let's begin with Boy King Josiah. And I need to ask my pastor how to pronounce some of these names, I think. Maybe that can be some homework I can do, right? Well, and then maybe the next time around I can pronounce all the names correctly. A boy named Josiah became the king of Judah when he was only 8 years old. Josiah loved God. Many bad kings had ruled before him. The temple in Jerusalem had started to crumble. People had not worshipped there for many years. King Josiah decided to fix it up. He wanted his people to worship God in the temple again. So King Josiah hired workers to repair it. One day, as the men were working, a priest found a scroll hidden in the wall. The priest showed the scroll to the king. It was the book of the law. King Josiah called everyone together. Then he read them God's laws. The people all made a promise to each other and to God. We will always obey God's laws. The Brave Queen. Esther 1 through 10. And I forgot to tell you what the other one was. Esther, I think, 1 through 10, was Jewish. That means she was an Israelite. She lived in the land of Persia with her older cousin Mordecai. The king of Persia needed a new queen. He announced, "Bring me the most beautiful woman from all over my kingdom." Esther was one of the women sent to the palace. When the king met Esther, he chose her to be his queen. Haman was the king's chief helper. He hated the Jewish people. They were God's people. Haman wanted everyone to bow down to him. Mordecai refused to bow down to Haman. Mordecai would only bow down to God. Haman went to the king. He said, "The Jews are bad people. You should sign a law that will help me get rid of them." So the king signed the new law. God's people were in great danger. Mordecai heard about the new law. He ran to tell Esther, "You must save yourself and the rest of God's people. Perhaps God has made you the queen for this reason." So Esther came up with a plan. It would be very risky for her. Esther invited the king and Haman to a special dinner. Then she asked the king, "Why does Haman want to get rid of me?" The king was surprised. She said, "I am Jewish. Haman tricked you into signing a new law that would get rid of all the Jews." Fiery furnace, Daniel 3. And I'm not going to know how to pronounce this name of this king. So don't make fun of me, okay? King Nebuchadnezzar's army had defeated the Israelites. Now he was their ruler. King Nebuch built a golden statue. Then he made a bad law. It said, when the music plays, everyone must bow down and worship the statue. Those who disobey will be thrown into a fiery furnace. The music began to play. The people fell down and worshiped the statue. But Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego refused. "We only worship the true God," they said. The king was mad. The king said, "Make the furnace extra hot." He had the 3 men thrown inside. Yet when the king looked into the furnace, there were 4 men walking around. One of them looked like an angel from God. The king shouted to the men, "Come out. Your God has saved you." The fire had not hurt them. They did not even smell like smoke. So the king made them rulers in his kingdom. Daniel and the lions, Daniel 6. Darius became the new king of Babylon. Daniel was his chief helper. The king's other helpers did not like Daniel. They said to the king, "You are such a wonderful king. You should make a new law that for the next 30 days everyone must pray only to you. If they disobey, they will be thrown into the lion's den." King Darius made the new law, but Daniel kept praying to God because Daniel loved God. The king's helpers caught him praying. They told King Darius, "Now you must throw Daniel into the lion's den." The king knew he had been tricked, but he had to obey his new law. Daniel was thrown into the lion's den. He was not afraid. He knew God would take care of him. King Darius told Daniel, "I hope your God will save you." That night, the king could not sleep. He was too worried about Daniel. At sunrise, the king hurried to the lion's den. "Has your God saved you from the lions?" he called. "Yes," answered Daniel. "My God sent his angels to protect me." So Daniel returned to the palace. Then the king Darius ordered everyone to honor and respect God. Jonah and the big fish. Jonah 1-3:10. Jonah was a prophet of God. One day, God told Jonah, "Go to the big city of Nineveh. Tell them to stop doing bad things." But Jonah ran away. He did not want to go to Nineveh. Instead, he got on a boat to sail across the sea. God sent a big storm to stop Jonah. The sailors on the boat were afraid. They thought the boat was going to sink. Jonah told the sailors, "My God has sent this storm. If you throw me into the water, the sea will become calm again." So the sailors threw Jonah into the raging sea. Instantly, the sea became calm. Just then, Jonah saw a big fish coming. Gulp! The fish swallowed Jonah. For 3 days and nights, Jonah was inside the fish. He prayed to God, "Please forgive me." Then God told the fish to spit Jonah onto dry land. God told Jonah a second time, "Go and tell the people in Nineveh to stop doing bad things." This time, Jonah obeyed God. The people in Nineveh were sorry for doing bad things, so God forgave them. Okay, that is the end of the Old Testament. And that message there was a lot of things, actually. One of them is that God will forgive you. You have to ask for forgiveness, though. You can't just assume that He's going to forgive you. You gotta ask for forgiveness for the things that you've done wrong. Um, and sometimes you might not know what you've done wrong, so just asking for forgiveness and talking to God and praying to God, um, he will let you know. He will help you and guide you, and uh, it's just crazy what God does for us. You never know. Just praying, sometimes He answers you in ways that you'll never imagine. Just you gotta be open to it, and know that He is there for you always, even when you don't think that He is. He's there, and He's helping you, and He's watching you, and um, it's amazing because there's so many people in this world and stuff, and everything. So um, today I'm going to pray for my customers. I'm going to pray for my cousin again, and this time I'm going to silently pray, though. So let's just bow our heads and give a little prayer. And I want to thank you all first for watching, and thank you for subscribing, and we'll see you next time. Amen. Thank you all again for watching. We'll see you next time.